Hello there, guys. How are we going? I think I'm officially, actually, now sort of on schedule and hitting where I should be, when I should be, in terms of coming on live or doing what it is that I'm doing. So anyway, just give you a couple of minutes to the people that do subscribe to my channel and do sort of, I don't like this word subscribe or follow or something like that. That's a very social media word, and obviously this is a social media platform. So I just thought I'd give, in fact, while we give some time on, let's see what's on YouTube at the moment. So anyway, I'm in a stronger, better, harder, faster situation. I'm staying here in the UK, by the way. I just feel that it's the same situation. I want to stick true to my core values, my core beliefs, and not just... So anyway, I'm here and I'm in my office, as you can see. Hello there, Laura. So finally, I can answer the questions to the trolls, because when I'm on my phone, it's difficult because obviously I'm living on it and I can't switch off to go on to things. And I haven't had any capacity to sit there and like write for ages, because obviously my hands really struggle with writing. I can show you personally while I'm sitting here that I use things like bigger pens, but even still, doodah. But if I don't think I've got any thin pens. No, I haven't got any thin pens. All my pens are all chunky pens, which obviously is a new thing, but back when I was in school, you had to be dyslexic in order to have a triangle. And actually the best pen I have ever used is one where it's actually sits around your finger. So it sort of sits around your finger like that, and it's one, and you write like that. So much easier, but I'm getting there. So basically, I've got my diary in front of me. I've got my notepad in front of me. Would you like to see where I'm up to in terms of moving into my office? So I've had a bit of a change around. So obviously headphones always. As soon as I come off live to you, my music will go in. I've got my passport to back up to my laptop. My laptop in here is working. I haven't got all my highlighters in here. Got my pad, got me thing, and obviously my cards to get ready for things that I have to remember. Cue cards, my David Lloyd locker thing, and obviously what's the most important thing, my skates, the fact that I'm still a rookie, my chiropractor's number, and then obviously my notebooks and connections here to Portsmouth University, and laptop are ready. So anyway, the problem is, go into, say my chiropractor says, Kelly, yes, I will do this. So you go into Google and you put in Kelly Cotton. Now, my algorithms be slightly different because I've always come into my laptop. So basically up here, you've got A, flaky. You couldn't tell the truth, your life depended on it. You got so used to fibbing to everybody, even yourself. And if you cannot see the truth for what it is, this site, blah, blah, blah. So this is media, Kelly-Cotton. That's not nothing to do with me. They've actually now properly admitted online that is somebody's basically, people have obviously been emailing them, and then obviously it's got my videos which are with me. The irony is, well called boys dentist, when they're saying, oh, no evidence of the boys at dentists, no evidence of the doctors. Do you know what? I don't actually have to have these things, and if I really wanted to, I've got a cousin who works at a dentist, and I could officially be there paying privately if I really wanted to. So then obviously it's mine, and it goes straight to my shop, my YouTube videos, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes to Kelly Cotton, Sharon Kilby. So this is Kelly Cotton's crusade to get her own children back on a national crisis needs more debate. She contradicts herself a lot. Example, she being in care is bad. Example, being in care is bad. Example, being in care is bad. Right, so then you've got Kelly Cotton on their website, court decision. So obviously I'm going to be putting that up on my website anyway. Then you've got my Twitter, and then obviously carry on with the pages. So if I go to the top and go images, then obviously you've got the YouTube video here where I settle into Edgbaston House, and we're in a one-bedroom flat. It's obviously Then obviously we've got to try and do a managed move. These are the 6 videos that I did that go back to my committal to prison. This is when I'm kicking off at other people who are giving me shit for being down. So this is 5 years ago. Actually, let's watch it for a minute. This goes back 5 years ago, when everyone's giving me shit for going in Parliament saying I work for this and I work for that. Listen to what I actually say. This is 5 years ago.
Hi, Kellie Cotton, forced adoption exposed. I'm down here with Scott. Now, on the 19th of July, David Jenkins set up Scott down outside 10 Downing Street with the Scott banners and all of the names that we have so far of the children who are screaming to be heard. Children and parents that need a voice. There is currently an investigation into historic child abuse caused by our own government. Government officials, MPs, social workers, teachers and police who are all involved in a paedophile circle that was in the historically, but what we have now been able to prove is this is going on today. A public inquiry was called into the current investigations over in Jersey, but we need the public to link the stolen children of the UK to the paedophile circles. They can't just take any children, and they are taking them from care homes, in foster care, and anywhere that they have access to these children. We have to say no more. Now, there's a lot of in-house communication breakdowns going on. People don't want to get involved with individual groups or individual people, or they're attacking those who are actually doing something about it. And this needs to stop. We all have unique skills. We all have different things that we're able to do to be able to help. Some are keyboard warriors. Some are able to put the posts out. Some can use Twitter. Some are able to come and stand down here at the demos and hold their ground. Some people aren't able to travel, and therefore they can do things in their own area. There is something that everyone can do. We are all in the same boat. We are all in the same situation, and when the boat is not steering in the same direction and everyone's pulling and breaking it down, all it's going to do is sink the lot of us. And I tell you what, I will not let my children and me go down with the crap that's going on, and I will go off and I will do things my own way, but I still stand for all of the people who are in the same situation, because we can't argue this by ourselves.
I'm live, not right now.
Are not strong enough by themselves. We have the right paperwork now. We have people who are coming out of the closet from years ago who have paperwork that gives us a precedence now. Now, this isn't right in front of your faces, so therefore you can't see what's going on. But Jason is currently working on bringing all this together, so when people do file their complaints, they do go to the HCPC, the ICPC, the Care Council, the Ombudsman, and all of the other different avenues that we can take, that we've all got the basic building block that says, yes, this is going on. It's not a conspiracy. Yes, children are being removed, and we've proved it. And with this, that will give everybody the basic foundations to be able to deal with their case as it goes on. But please, people, get off the backs of those who are doing stuff. Remember what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing, not what other people are doing. If people need slightly empowering or enabled in some way, then help and support people. But please don't tear the people down who are doing stuff. You can't see everything that's going on. I can't be down at Scott every day.
I haven't got your charger. It's in the living room
say
for
I'm
anyway.
not.
It's still plugged in.
In front of me. I'm doing stuff on the computer. I'm making phone calls. There's a lot of other stuff that I need to be doing, and there's a lot of other stuff that other people are doing as well. Those who are sitting there waiting for us to fail, please just either move yourself from the campaign or get on board and do what you can do. So Stephanie has been down here for days, and I tell you what, her voice is echoing out to the people. She is getting the reach. She is able to get the videos out, and there's a lot of new videos that are going to be going up. So even though you're not down here and you can't see what's going on, know that the public are being informed. David Cameron even got trapped by David and Steph this morning as he came out in his car, so he's ready.
Remember, this is 5 years ago.
He's still up at in Oxford, and he is getting tickets and warnings, but he's still up there. So people inform people, speak to the council, speak to social workers, ask them what are they going to do about this situation. The MPs are now going off on their holidays, and they will be back on the 1st of September, but they will be in their constitutions in about 4 weeks. So you've now got 4 weeks to sculpt and write your letters to the MPs, and I need to know which MPs refuse you. The MPs who support us...
She's trying to find charger.
The MPs who are refusing to help are the ones that we need to expose and remove.
Let me see how long this one's got.
So we're aiming for the 2015.
Right, so that was 2015, yeah?
But there are thousands of people all around the UK, all doing something differently, so we can take this wall down. And if we're all chipping at it, eventually it's going to collapse. But it's only going to collapse when we're all chipping at the same wall and not chipping away at each other. So I thank you for listening. I'm down at Scott's, outside David Cameron's, and this is Forced Adoption Exposed.
Let's start with that extraordinary phrase, martial law in Russia. Who would have thought that we're talking quite seriously about this prospect? What we do know tomorrow is that the Parliament will convene a special session where we believe they are going to make it a criminal offence punishable of up to 15 years for, their words, unofficially reporting the war. That means calling the war...
Sorry, guys. It's the laptop charger we were trying to find for the other one, so I don't know what you got at the end. The whole point of me showing you that is obviously 2015, back then, I just got to London, I just got to a legal team, and literally I was just dealing with... Oh no, it's under there. No, it's here. I was just basically dealing, I think this, yeah. So I was dealing with all of this stuff, right? So basically, it had come to the point where I had had my permission to oppose the adoption order on Aaron and Faith closed down by the Royal Courts of Justice. I was a litigant in person because I wasn't entitled to legal aid. There was no legal aid for this sort of attack. And then, as you know, it all went through and it was done. And I think I even have it here, what I'm looking for. I don't like having to do this. I really don't. It really, well, basically, so take me back to the 15th of July, 2013. So the 15th of July 2013, I'd had that. I got a coffee spill on it. It's not my fucking fault. Pisses me off. But it's done. So this basically... So this is an ex parte. The court orders that permission to appeal is refused. Is Honour Judge Perry. And that was the 15th of July 2013. And look at this. It's got the wrong date of birth of Aaron and Faith on it. Actually says that Faith's birthday is in October. It's not. So, and yes, it's stamped by a fabricated, fictitious court, basically. Now, why is it so important that all these years later that I still go to court about something that happened in the past? And the reason is it hinders my future, because whenever, it doesn't matter what I do, it doesn't matter where I go, it doesn't matter if I go to A&E, it doesn't matter if any of the boys join any groups, it doesn't matter if I make new friendships. It doesn't matter what sector I want to work in. It doesn't matter how I make my money. Everything is about reputation. Everything is about how people perceive you. Everything is about other people's opinions of you. And it's just a fact of life that there is always going to be people who have an opinion of you. There's always going to be people who have a perception of you. And there will always be people who couldn't give a flying fuck who the fuck you are. Like, seriously, couldn't give a shit. The thing that has been so difficult, so if anyone doesn't know, by the way, this is a C2 form. So this is a Children and Families Court. The website opposing me, which I've got up here, right? First of all, who I'm in relationship with is none of your fucking bollocks. Who my kids are is none of your business. What my life or anything is nobody's business. At the end of the day, this is my office. This is my office. And when I say this is my office, this is my office. Right? So this is me slightly peeking behind there. It's given me an opportunity to come on a laptop and see what it's like. This is in mobile setting. So this is me. I've chosen to put my name as a Y up there at the moment. And I've done that because obviously my dad has Kelly tattooed as a Y. So then you've got this little home. Let me get some control on my laptop. Then you've got this little home button here. And at the moment, I've just got, obviously, my email address, which is kelly@kellycotton.co.uk. And then to join my email list for seasonal newsletters, and click to add yourself to my contact list. And then I've got, obviously, connect to social medias down at the bottom, right? Now, obviously, as you open these, so there's Crackbook. Slow, I'm on a BT sort of thing. So this is my Crackbook. So this opens up, obviously, as Kelly, and it says I've got 2,005,000 subscribers and I follow 400 and doodahs. This is obviously not my original page from 11 years ago. And then hello, you can see, you can even watch me live if you want. Would you like to watch me live? Watch me watching me live. Hello. Would you like to watch me live? Watch me watching me live. So basically, I can go into my account here and go to all profiles, yeah? Right, hang on. Shut that up. Right, just shut that up a minute. Let me go into my account. So, let me go into my Kelly Cotton account. Right, and I'll take you to pages. So this is pages, okay? Right, so these are basically all the pages that I manage. So, vote for positions. Hang on. Let me go down the side. Vote for positions. Love Great Britain. Kelly. They might have got my body, but they never got my soul. Forced adoption exposed. Halt the adoption drive. Step Up Britain. Children's social work. Care, blah. Taken from the breast. Home for Christmas. Kelly Cotton, It's All Connected. Josie Kelsey. Step Up USA. Naturally Feeding. Supermoms. Kelly Cotton Success Resources. Affiliate links. Disabled to Enabled. Social Media Entrepreneurs. People of Portsmouth. People Over Parties. Dream Hope. Have Faith and Inspire. Which just quotes the Big British Bake Off. Mad, which is Make a Difference. Life book, which is my life book, The Mind Valley Journey. Shiloh D. Samuel, Elijah D. Samuel. Lockdown Government, Like Minded. Complex Trauma Coaching, Complex Trauma Coaching. Step Up Albania, Step Up America, Samosis, Step Up India, Step Up Angola, Step Up Andorra, Step Up Algeria, Step Up blah, 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 blah. Britain on lockdown, and then obviously there's more of those. I've just not connected them over to this page. And then all my unpublished pages at the moment, which I won't show you because they're unpublished. Oh, I can. Raven Religion, Kellyanne Hill, Sponsor a Family, Kellyanne Cottam, Protocol Challenge Britain, Family Matters Legal Services, Kellyanne Avis Forrester, Kellyanne Avis, Oil Rigs. I knew there was a reason I needed oil rigs. Benefit Britain, Kellyanne Wilkinson, Future Fridays Portsmouth, Artists in Action, Race and Religion, Naturally Fed, The Great Stage. Right. So then, of course, I have the option that I can switch my accounts and I can basically go into any of my 41 accounts, log into another account, and I've basically just logged. I don't want that one. I've basically just logged myself out of Crackbook. So then obviously it opens up to my YouTube, blah, blah, blah. The YouTube, I'm keeping just a diary of everything. The only thing I'm missing is Bambuser videos, any videos that other people have got. And then obviously I've seen that obviously Amber is still putting my videos up, even though she's not meant to be doing, but she is doing. But at least it's up there. So predominantly based on that, it's about skating, okay? So on my phone here, I've got my TikTok, and I use my TikTok for my skating. Twitter, this is the first time I've signed into Twitter in a fucking long time, and I haven't been onto Twitter, my back shop, for absolutely ages, and this is probably the nearest thing that I have, and might even have things, because this goes back to 2011 and is my original Twitter account. Then obviously I've got my LinkedIn, which I have 2 LinkedIn accounts, my previous and then trying to sort of set up again. But when you're online, it's really difficult because you can't get away from online, basically. Doesn't matter. You don't get a fresh start. And then obviously I've got my Instagram, which I'm just slightly stuck on, Crackbook, which I don't really need. And then obviously it comes back to their website, right? So very quickly, I'm going to answer the questions that they think that they've got their concerns on. They basically say that, I found this quite funny, right? So basically, we would like to thank people who take the time to let us know their opinions and views. In the main, we could not agree with you more than we already do. From the start, we have already stated that we will not quote or name any contributors. We will only respond personally in future cases. Well, first of all, you have no permission whatsoever to speak on my name. And there are laws that protect this because you're providing false information. Bang. Right. So, and the reason that you're going to court is because you're part of everything that's gone on since I first went to the media. Fact. We are behaving this way for the protection of the public and ourselves. Well, public ain't really around. Even I'm not getting many more shares than what. I'm right down at the bottom, mate. So nobody's watching you other than what I'm showing people. So otherwise, nobody would know about you. Kellie, by the way, is very clear that unless anyone agrees with her, then they are liable for her reaction. Well, no, it's not about that. It's about people that are in the way of this. Yeah, it's about people that are listening to this. This basically is what is called an unopposed judgment, okay? Because I've never had the opportunity to do so properly. And this was held on 17th to the 24th. Yeah. And that comes from obviously a bundle. Yeah. So this piece of paperwork that apparently represents 43 years of my life. Well, 35. Okay. Yeah. So basically, I've got to put all of this in order. This has got to be still omitted from my life. Now, I'm going to challenge this very, very quickly and very, very, very easily based on the fact that everything was surrounded around Dr. Bose. And let's find who Dr. Bose is. So let's have a look 1 second. So Dr. Bose. Dr. Bose, Wrexham. So let's see the person who basically said, Dr. Bose. So it would basically be based here, which is even this person sitting there. So it'd be a locum consultant. Hang on. A locum consultant, community pediatrics, Wrexham Child Health Centre, Wrexham. That's not actually him, but this is the sort of thing that it will be. Let me see if I can find a Dr. Bose in Wrexham. See, again, these people could have left. So basically, I have to say, please decide whether you wish to. Here we go. Right. So, oh, it's a woman again. I could see. I've got to bring it all back together. Start again. Start from scratch. I've got a shredder down here. Let me pull you off of Doodah. I've got a shredder down here. Bin bag ready. Boxes here. Oh shit. This is actually quite organised and I know what's in there. That one, that's receipts for stuff. I've got this to go through, that to go through. Welcome to... And then basically... Right, so... Oh, Bose Orthetics. This should be interesting. Right, joint arm oilerless, Mary Bose. No, that can't be her speaking. Specialist on joint injury repairs. Nah, that can't be her, unless that's Wrexham. If that's Wrexham, this should be really interesting because she's going to have to apologise quite quickly. I have a feeling that this is the wrong one, but I'm going to keep... Hang on, No, that's the States. I'm going to keep that because that's really handy. Right, I'm going to keep that, but that's the wrong one. But basically, got my thing. So priorities always for me are birthdays, any doodah stuff, anything that I stay in line with. I'm not interested in what's going on out there. I'm interested in, obviously, things like, so take for example with Liam, my first son. Basketball. Hang on. Basketball, graffiti, art, music, lots of other things. Daniel, athletics, football as a goalkeeper, both had their swimming, both went to gyms, both had multi-sports, both participated in cricket, rugby, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, they were always after-school activities and weekends for tours, competitions and things like that. I've really got to get a drink. Dean, do you mind flicking the kettle on for me, please? I've really got to get some fluid because I'm really itchy on the inside. So anyway, Dean needs to start doing his own lives, but he doesn't. He's listening to Christian music and ranting. The boys are in bed. So basically, I have to look at anything that's in their systematic calendar and opportunities for me to speak where there are people that are in line with things like the NHS to do with EDS. The EDS America and the EDS International and EDS UK is two different things. But the challenge is when you're diagnosed with a condition, especially Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, doesn't matter if it's pediatrics, it doesn't matter if it's for an adult, which would be rheumatology, or genetics, you are referred to EDS UK. Big gap missing. Massive big gap missing. Massive big gap missing. And that big gap is missing and it's vital. And this is why the rare disease has been passed in Parliament. And this is the challenge with people going, look, knock government down, take government down. These people aren't the people that wrote the laws for 400 years. And most of the people that get up and go to work don't understand that they're part of a Nazi regime. They don't get it because they don't know who's sitting at the top of that thing. I don't feel that I can go away while all this is not in order, because the reality is it's something that you might not come back. I don't feel that this is my battle, this is my fight. but I am still here for what I believe and I'm watching, because I'm watching everybody going in, numbers, blah, blah, blah. I'm even tallying down what they're doing, keeping screenshots, everything like that. Making sure I recognise people when they come over. Got my notepad, and then obviously working on key things that have to be in my document. So to the people who've got the website, being you know everything about family law, if you want to fill this and write it up on the website, then put all these keynotes. Family law is my personal stuff. It's what's happened to me personally. Yeah, that's my personal life. And the reason that the courts are closed is because it gives people a right to a private life. So people don't go on and go boom, 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 boom. I waived that right when I got gagged, and I couldn't even turn to people like solicitors without changing over or paying hands. Freedom of request, all of these things. Even changing medical, you have to share information, is part of freedom of request. The person who wrote the psychological report on me, my friend Sharon's done a lot of research onto her finances and stuff, and it goes deep, right? Dr. Maya Edwards. So basically, they take a psychological report. This is her. So this report here is all based on this woman here. I have every right to take this woman to court and ask her to stand by everything that she says based on the facts that I'm presenting in front of her. She will omit her paperwork. So this is her. Now, it is an assessment and therapy. Clinical psychologist. Assessment and therapy. Let me say this again. Assessment and therapy. Can I just turn myself back to just little old me? Why am I denied the therapy? Why do people not want someone like me to heal from the trauma? Because it's absolutely catastrophic to have people with trauma in the world, right? Trauma is not a nice thing to deal with, and it's not a nice thing for people to go through or experience. The fact is, it is a centre for assessment and therapy. The courts are assessing with no therapy. A&E, all these medical people are diagnosing, but there's no management, and it doesn't matter what it is, okay? Now, what they then say in the family courts is, well, okay, then, you know, this court assessment is 26 weeks and we can't get the therapy in time. There isn't funding, blah, blah, blah. It would take 2 years. It would be for the rest of their life. So therefore, we've got to get kids in an emergency situation, put them in a place of safety, blah, 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 blah. This is wrong. So anyway, for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, that we sit under rare, it is passed in the Houses of Lords that there has to be treatment. So faster diagnosis and treatment. So it's about how you are treated, treatment. Right, so let me just scroll down to about. Oh, there's no photograph. I thought it might be a photograph of her. Let me go back. There she is. So this woman basically says that I can't get on with my life because her report is right and everybody has to live by it and treat me according to the words upon her, right? Because she's got an issue with me having a degree, because she considers herself a let's go back. What does she considers herself as? Now, I'm not as qualified by her because I haven't gone on to do my master's. I don't believe she's gone on to do her PhD. So let's find out again. Oh, come on. There you go. Right. So a clinical psychologist, right? And her CV so her CV says, I am a doctor, so Dr. Myra Edwards, of clinical psychology specialised in parental mental health, child behavioural problems, parental skills. I'm a chartered psychologist and associate fellow of the British Psychological Association and a member of the Division of Clinical Psychology and faculties of children and young people, and I'm also a member of various other professional organisations. I am registered with the Healthcare Professional Council as a clinical psychologist. I have worked as a clinical psychologist since 1998, both in the NHS and independent practitioner, and I've employed teaching fellows in schools of psychology, Bangor, and I founded this particular place in 2009, having initiated based in Bangor, and from the onset, blah, 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 right? Now, whenever a professional gets something wrong, and it's not even her, it's the judge, right? And based in my psychological report, she said it needs a medical person, and that wasn't done because they said there was no specialist. As you know, Professor Graham is now retired. Professor Bird is dead. I've got a book of EDS management that will tell you everybody down to a woman called Barrows. Most people have gone, right? And as I've said, it's money. So I really don't care. I've got an opportunity now to pull things together to get people to actually help without charging me. And that's because at the end of the day, if they don't, it's vital that someone likes me finally gets the care, not psychologically so much, physically. Chiropractor, osteopath, a naturopath. It's about what I eat. It's about what I put in my body. It's about how you fuel your car. You can't put petrol in a diesel car. You can't put diesel in a petrol car. And our body's exactly the same. Just like my dog can't eat human food so much. She's a dog. And I've got to go back to basics. And the only way that I can do that is to keep diaries. I can't cope with all this information in my head. So everything is quite organized. So everything basically runs from my website. Now, I will then obviously go into, just before I go, I don't know if all my stuff is set up, but just 2 seconds. Go. I've just had one of my websites taken down. I'm so pissed off. I've just lost my thegreatreset.org.uk. It's been taken down. Like taken down and taken off of me. So anyway, let me just quickly go in. And they do the same thing. They do the same login. So obviously, if I go to my products, and this is basically what you class as a job. This is my work. This is my company. This is my career. This is my business. This is how somebody with a physical condition chooses to make a career. You know, so I've got Kellie Cotton, and then they've got theirs. So I have to pay for this monthly. They don't do that because I'm building something. And then obviously I've got kellycotton.org, health, education and wellbeing. This is the fuck up one, by the way, because of this, but I still got it. It's just a way of life. And then obviously, as you can see, the 2 L's are there. So health, education and wellbeing, the Lord's Great Reset. Hang on. Slow. Right, so there you go. So health, education and wellbeing. That's the one that I'll just get rid of. So that's set to expire and go because that wasn't me actually. Okay, so, oh, it's just clicked into it. So I'm not protected online, by the way, because of funding in terms of addresses. It's very easy to go on to somebody, and I need that for Aaron and Faith. So yeah, start again. So yeah, so the Lord's Great Reset, it's just a way of life. Right, or I can probably go down domains there, actually, it'd be faster. So there, so health, education and well, oh, for fuck's sake. Right, hang on, it's quicker to do it that way quickly. Right, so start again. Right, so let me go to domains. So down there, obviously, I've got my Kellie Cotton, and I need to upgrade to protect it. And this one here is a fuck up that's got to go. It's just a way of life, health, education, wellbeing.com, the Lord's Great Reset.com, it's just a way of life.com, cranial instability .org, disabled 2 with a 2 enabled.com, health, education and wellbeing.org, disabled to enabled.org. Hang on, it's just loading down, dropping the box. So yeah, health, education, info. Oh, come on, display more. Health, education, info. Right, March for morals. Moralmarch.co.uk. March for morals. March for morals. March for morals. I need to flip through some because some of them are Dean's, which are his, so it's personal to him. So 2 secs. Right, actually, yeah. And then obviously, it's taking me too long. So obviously, I've got all my kids, the boys, blah, 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 blah. So basically, I have to run a schedule, and that schedule is based on times, what time I live, what time I, yeah, so you can basically see it there. So obviously, me, Elijah, Shiloh, meunderer.com, ding, ding, right? So in order to do that and manage and run a family and a home, it takes a schedule. And that's down to like cleaning the toilet, when the washing is done, when everybody needs their clothes done, what's economically more viable in terms of washing late at night, who's got to be where at what time. I'm a taxi, I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor. I'm not qualified before anyone goes, oh, she says she's a doctor, she says she's this. When it comes to being a mother, yeah, a mother is the most uninsurable person. Do you know that? Because she's got too many hats. And no person could ever replace that one hat. You'd have to employ so many people if a mother was in hospital because of the amount of jobs that a mother does, right? Housekeeper, right? Fact. Now, in order for me to go anywhere, and Dean would do a great job, wouldn't matter. If I buggered off even Saturday and left it around, I'd come back and, I don't know, I'd sort whatever was not done to my level and would probably do better in other levels. But he wouldn't have a car. They'd get on, whatever. But anyway, it's an uncertain situation. So I'm definitely staying here, but I'm watching everything going on and I'm linked to everybody. And because I still stand by the fact that everything that I do, I believe I'd be doing as a family and home educating, blah, 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 blah. So I'm sticking by what I'm doing and I'm not getting pulled into a wind. And I'm also not, as I've said, there's far more going on than you could ever imagine in terms of Russia, China, America, Fiji. I mean, we're about to hit one of the biggest economic crashes, and there's already people that have already crashed. There's just a lot of pride in their way, and they don't go down to the job centre and get the help, and they have probably asked mum and dad for money that have gotten to the next level, and people are feeling it already, and people are going to feel it very tight soon in oil, gases, natural gases, everything down to your mobile phone. You know, food is all going to go up, the transportation of everything is all going to go up. So people have just got to increase their money, and the way that you increase your money is they've got your mindset on one solid income, and this is the challenge. I wanted to get myself on my own land with obviously my 4 children before all this happened, get myself safe, make sure I had my bog standard basic needs, blah, 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 because I thought, well, you can't change what's going to happen. You can only make sure you're in a better situation. and put your family in a better situation. And that's all I was really trying to do. So what you do is you set up multiple sources of income. And it's so money works for you while you sleep, pretty much, rather than you getting up and leveraging your time for money. And that's the slave mindset. The slave mindset is you get up and you work hard for money and you put a time and a price. The entrepreneurs sell their products for time rather than themselves. They invest. So they would say that there's so many different buckets. So you've got people who are just in a job, you've got people who are self-employed, and people who are entrepreneurs, basically. And they use property, and they use gold, silver, myrrh, the things that we were meant to do, oil. And there's different things, and that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm just here to say I'm here, I've moved around, I'm set up, and this is obviously my priority, because this is Elijah's company, ready for obviously his stuff. I've got the London School of Hip Hop, I've got a touchscreen, so I can get on with it. And his was expire on, so I have to put all of these dates in my diary to make sure that I know where everything is up. It's got my old address on there, an old telephone number, so I've got to make sure I change all of this over, make sure everything's running right. And then obviously buying and selling is another way. So I can buy and sell websites, so I can buy them cheap, put them up. And that's obviously something I do on here. Now, GoDaddy support me. They're watching. They've got the bank details. GoDaddy are quite happy because obviously I've got the amount of websites and stuff set up. So someone like me who's paying monthly is more of a client than someone who's just got a year website. So anyway, I'm going to literally put my headphones around me. I'm sitting in here. I've got to literally put in my fundamentals and frameworks, start shredding paperwork, putting paperwork in here. I've got obviously my bag ready to throw my laptop in for when I'm going to play zones with the boys. I've got my yellow running hat. I've got to work out which hats, coats are going and what's for what. Sort out my shoes. Got my dog thing here ready for her to come and sit in with me. All my personal stuff for sort of like everything like gas, electric, all that sort of stuff. My medical folder is there, which proves that Dr. Bose was wrong. And they knew that from the start. So they continue to do that, which is misfeasance, malfeasance, non-misfeasance in public office. And then obviously I have my forced adoption exposed sort of stuff. I've got my, I can't remember what black was. And then I've got my blue, which is all police stuff down there. My pink, which is more my own personal stuff. And space. This I've got to get connected up to this so I can write and print. Things to deal with that I've got to put into space, obviously. And then you've got to have a breakout. So I've got my sketch pad in here for just doing some sketching. Obviously, you know, I painted this craziness. And sort out my chiropractor. And then literally, hopefully, by the 31st, I should be in a really strong situation for a new financial situation. Anything that I've got any debt with anybody is all going to be put into debt management. That's everybody. Even Lisa's going to get a letter from me. But unfortunately, Lisa's not a high priority debt. And she's not even considered a debt when it comes to Christians Against Poverty. And I don't like the word against, but they don't consider that sort of stuff. But I've got a couple of people like Lisa that I actually like, who I really want to owe back. I mean, in tenfolds. I really, really want to bless these people because they've been so patient and so graceful and so loving and so kind and so understandable. And when I'm in that financial situation, I've got all my assets back, blah, 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 and new stuff and new creations and new stuff. You know, I've got people that I really want to bless. I mean, Lisa, certainly I'll pay back, but I won't be blessing her. And I certainly won't be blessing the people who've done this. They're no blessing to me. Dean is none of their business. My kids are none of their business. What I choose to be as Kelly is my business. And, you know, it's just like any other person that has any form of company. There is a standard of ethics and guidelines, and I have the same rights. And even though they're not being implemented online, they're about to. So, you know, nothing's changed since Princess Diana. Do you know what I mean? Nothing with the press, with media, nothing's changed since what happened with Princess Diana. And, you know, there's a woman on TikTok who's obviously had stalkers and things like that. So there has to be laws to protect that. And I'm happy to have that applied and happy to bring into court the fact that I was previously in the media. None of this has been presented. I haven't had the opportunity to do so. you know, and if these people that so think it's all about the law, well, come on a YouTube with me and help me go through all of this then, if you think you're so fucking superior, awesome, and some legal team. If not, you're a witness to torture me and you've allowed to watch it and been part of it. So, see you later.